Seniors are making plans for the future, there's a new business fraternity on campus, and spring recitals are this weekend.
All this and more coming up next on College Week.
From the McDonald Center on the campus of the University of Sioux Falls, this is College Week with Dylan Dwyer, Irene Samaniego, and Sports with Seth Cordy.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Dwyer.
And I'm Irene Samaniego. And you know, Dylan, I can't wrap up my idea. This is our last College Week show together.
I know, I can't believe it. After 4 years of being in College Week, this is our very last show. It's a bummer, I'm sad.
I know. Well, you know, you're not the only one leaving. Our own Julia Iverson, our senior, sat down with other seniors to hear about their plans for post-graduation.
So after I graduate, I have a class that I have to take for nursing for a week, and then after that, I'm going to be getting married on May 31st, which I'm super excited about that. And then after I get married, Matt and I are going to Colorado for a week, and then I'll come back, and we're just planning on living in Sioux Falls and taking nursing boards, and I'll get a job here in Sioux Falls. After I graduate, I don't have a job yet, but I'm just applying and just kind of waiting to see what happens with that.
I actually got hired as an admissions counselor here at the University of Sioux Falls, so I'm excited to get to meet with prospective students and help them come to USF.
For my post-graduation plans, don't have any kind of currently, just been applying to jobs and kind of looking around through that route. If I get a job in Sioux Falls here, that would be great, but if not, I'll be looking back kind of around home too in Minnesota and kind of play things out and see where God leads me.
My plans after graduation have actually begun now already. I've started my own business doing as a wedding videographer. I'm really excited about it. So it's cool because I'm able to use the stuff I've learned in media in a way that I enjoy more than what I've been doing here at USF. So that's pretty fun. And then I've also had to learn a lot about business, and I'm not a business major. I haven't taken any business classes, so that's just really stretched me, and that's been really good and fun. So that's going well. I'm already booked out, I think 6 weddings already for this summer. So it's just a huge market, and I'm working with a professional here in town who's just helping me get started and kind of teaching me the ropes. And I'm just really excited to be self-employed and never have to work for anyone. And I'm just hoping that this is something I want to do my whole life. So
The biggest lesson I learned here at USF is to just get to know all different kinds of people. I've gotten to know people who I wouldn't normally have maybe associated with before college because we had different interests and activities and majors, but they're the people who really shaped me during my time here at USF, and honestly, they're the people who prepared me for the real world.
I would just say the biggest lesson is to always have people around, to have a good support system of friends that encourage you and challenge you, and to stay connected with people that you love and that love you as well.
USF has been such a great experience, and I'm glad I transferred here. I've made a lot of great friends and learned a lot of great things, but probably the biggest thing I've taken just from the college experience in general is that true experience really comes outside of the classroom and outside of the college system.
It's a warm, comforting feeling just to know that when I leave here, I'll know where I want my life to go and how I want to live my life.
The business fraternity Phi Beta Lambda is coming to USF. The purpose of the club, according to Bruce Watley, is to give students opportunity for events and activities that allow for personal and professional development. The club is now recognized by USF's Student Senate and is filing for an official charter with PBL's national headquarters. For more information, contact Bruce Watley at bruce.watley@usiouxfalls.edu.
Spring recitals are this weekend. The music department honors recitals will be at 2 p.m. on Sunday, May 4th, while the spring ensemble concert will be at 4 p.m. and a reception will be held in between the concerts. Both of the musical events will be in the Meredith Auditorium in the Jeske Fine Arts Center.
And here's Tanner Wangsness with this week's pop quiz question.
Good luck!
Hi, I'm Tanner Wangsness with this week's pop quiz question. This week's question is, when colleges and universities close, the records are sent to another school for safekeeping. How many schools has USF acquired during its existence? A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, none of the above? Stay tuned for the answer.
because the world moves faster than you do. It can move so fast that you just can't keep up. That's why you need to be able to trust people. You need to trust someone who can slow things down for you. I'm Jaden Miller, USF College Week anchor, and you can count on me to keep you up to speed.
Well, you know, Dylan, that's a really hard question. I wasn't even aware that records were sent to other different schools.
I'm telling you, Tanner Wangsness keeps getting tougher and tougher with these pop quiz questions. Let's find out the answer.
Hi, welcome back. This week's question is, when colleges and universities close, the records are sent to another school for safekeeping. How many schools has USF acquired during its existence? A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, none of the above? Well, if you guessed D, you're spot on. Between 1929 and 1931, Sioux Falls College acquired 4 Baptist schools that had ceased to operate. Des Moines University out of Des Moines, Iowa, Grand Island College out of Grand Island, Nebraska, Cedar Valley Seminary out of Osage, Iowa, and Parker College out of Winnebago, Minnesota. With the 1931 merger of Grand Island College with what was still legally Sioux Falls University, the institution's official name changed to Sioux Falls College. Bet you didn't know that.
En el 2010, la Oficina del Censo de Estados Unidos calculó que la población hispana de Sioux Falls es de aproximadamente 4.4%. Eso es 6.827 de los 154.000 personas viviendo en la ciudad. Como una nación de hispanos o latinos con un creciente 40% más rápido que la población general, está creando que la población americana esté expuesta a una nueva cultura. Miranda Kate tiene más de la historia.
La Universidad de Sioux Falls se conoce como una pequeña escuela de artes liberales cristiano escondido en la ciudad más grande de Dakota del Sur. Pero a pesar de la cultura del Medio Oeste soso intercrustada en las actividades de cada día, la USF está preparando a sus estudiantes para más.
Estudiantes de la Universidad de Sioux Falls que toman las clases de español todos los años participan como voluntarios de este evento.
USF profesor de español, Luis Suárez, es un apasionado de la inmersión de sus estudiantes y la comunidad en las culturas fuera de sus normas sociales. Desde México, Willy es un firme defensor de la exploración de nuevas culturas y tradiciones. Como parte de la coronación de la fiesta del 5 de mayo, se celebra cada año en Falls Park.
En este año tengo la oportunidad de colaborar no solamente en lo que es con el grupo de voluntarios de la Universidad de Sioux Falls, pero incluso también en lo que fue en traer los grupos musicales que van a tocar ese día. Vamos a tener una gran variedad de grupos musicales.
Suárez dice que la mayoría de los voluntarios consiste en la instalación de carpas de prevendedores, sillas, mesas y otros equipos necesarios para el evento. Pero los estudiantes tienen más oportunidades que solo el trabajo.
El 5 de mayo más que todo es una celebración, digamos, que refuerza la identidad no solamente mexicoamericana, sino diría yo latinoamericana en los Estados Unidos. Es un evento en el cual se enfatiza, ¿sí? Se pone de manifiesto la contribución, en este caso de la cultura hispana en la comunidad. Pero al mismo tiempo es un evento para establecer lazos entre las diferentes comunidades que integran o que participan en el evento. Entonces va a haber una gran variedad de grupos musicales y va a haber también una gran variedad de comida hispana.
En el nombre del Departamento de USF Españoles, estamos deseando verlos el 10 de mayo a Falls Park. Para la Semana de la Universidad, soy Miranda Kane.
Campus Beautification Day is coming up on May 9th. This is a day for students and faculty to help make campus a more beautiful place by planting flowers and getting the grounds ready for the warmer months. Volunteers meet on the north entrance of Jeske Hall at 10 a.m. Text 6688 if you would like to participate in this event.
Coming up next is Java Talk with Donovan Miner.
Don't go away.
Academic excellence, inspired talent, Christian values, athletic champions. This is the University of Sioux Falls, proud to be with you the whole way.
Hello, and thank you again for joining us for the last show of Java Talk of the season. I'm Donovan Miner, and I'm here today with the new Student Senate President-elect, Lauren Nelson, in her very first press interview. Lauren, how are you doing?
Great. How are you, Donnie?
Pretty good myself.
Very good.
So you are going to be the new president of Student Senate next year.
Yes.
Was it a hard competition, or were you alone? I mean, how did that work?
You know, that's funny.
Elected in?
Sophie, my vice president, and I actually ran unopposed, so we didn't have any campaigning to do, really.
Really?
And we really didn't have any competition to worry about this time, so we got lucky.
Nice.
Definitely.
So were you the vice president this year, or?
My role this year was secretary-treasurer.
Okay.
So just kind of doing both positions. And yeah, I was prohibited last year from running for president due to, you have to have a certain amount of credit hours. And so, yeah, now that I had the opportunity this year, I thought I would do it.
Okay. And who else has been elected this year? You said Sophie is your vice
Sophie
president?
Hirano is my vice president, and our treasurer is Seth Lewis. And at this point, we're actually currently in an election for secretary. We have 2 people running for that, so that is to be announced.
Okay. Do you know who's running for it?
Yeah,
or?
Emily Erickson
Okay.
and Rachel Thornton.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So,
oh, yeah, I've seen the posters around for that.
the posters. Yep.
Is there any new things that have been added to Student Senate with these elections, or any new members?
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, we added an activities committee this year, which means we added 5 additional members to Student Senate. And the activities committee's kind of, their job is to represent the interest of student activities on campus, and that's historically been kind of a separate thing that's worked with the person in student development that plans activities, but we wanted to integrate the two just for efficiency reasons, and it just makes sense that those people are in contact with Student Senate.
So kind of like what Alex Heiner and them do, where they plan out like the Olympics and Humans vs. Zombies Week, stuff like that?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So how can someone get involved with Student Senate? Or, I mean, if you want somebody to join Student Senate or bring their opinions, what can they do?
Well, as far as I would just say, get in contact with the senator that you know. There are, I think, going to be about 25 to 30 of us. I don't know the exact number at the moment. But so as far as if students have questions or concerns, it's their right. It's their job to talk to their senators, because those people are the ones that represent the student body's interest. And as far as if you want to be a part of Senate, there are elections every spring for members, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. And then for freshmen, we have a fall election that's right away in the fall, so we can get our freshman representatives elected. So it's as simple as filling out a petition with 50 signatures, which is easy to do if you stroll through the CAF during lunch. And yeah, it's not a difficult process of campaigning typically, and it's fun.
So how often do you guys meet?
That's a great question. We meet every other Monday at 9 p.m.
Okay. And is it open to the public, or is it just for you guys? I mean, if someone's interested in the Student Senate or wants to know what you guys are just planning on doing, can they just show up and observe or even put in their opinion?
We generally prefer if somebody's notified of that beforehand, simply because we have a pretty specific agenda that we go through every night. We try to keep it right at an hour, so we don't, understanding that people have busy lives, and so we try to respect that time. And so, yeah, we typically like to have a little bit of warning, but I think we've had people in the past that come and they present their questions or concerns to the Senate themselves, and that's certainly appreciated by the Senate.
And say somebody doesn't know a senator on Student Senate, although that's kind of unlikely because especially people involved in Student Senate are really well-known people here on campus. But say I don't know anybody,
Okay.
how can I, or what can I do if I want to start a club or I want to pose an idea to Student Senate?
Sure.
Where would I go for that?
That's a wonderful question. We have a very nice Student Senate desk here located in Java City. Say you wanted to start a club, all you have to do is pick up a petition at the Senate desk and then, or a petition, just like an application, and we just kind of fill it out talking about what the purpose of your club is, who are the officers, how you'd spend your money, and because the job of Student Senate is to fund the clubs on campus. And it's really simple. We've actually this year simplified the application process for clubs. So that's, we're hoping it's going to make it a lot easier for clubs to form.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Well, we're already out of time, but it was nice having you, Lauren.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for joining us for the last session of Java Talk for the season. I'm Donovan Miner, and up next is Sports with Seth Cordy.
USF. Cougar crazies. I got something for y'all to check out. Yep, Cougar. Y'all need to check it out. Hey, Cougar. I said y'all should check it out. Cougar. Check it out. Son. Cougar. Yeah. You need to check it out. If the USF Cougars is something you need a rep, well then Cool Gear Locker is something you need to check. You're in need of apparel, you gotta be looking right. Go to cool-gearlocker.com website. When I spit it, y'all should listen. Try to determine how I rip it. USF is what we reppin'. USF is never slipping. Cougar fans, y'all looking great. You know that we dominate. Need some gear and gotta wait with Cool Gear Locker, raise the stakes. Cool Gear. Y'all need to check it out. Cool Gear. I said y'all should check it out. Cool Gear. Check it out. Cool Gear. You need to check it out.
And now, Dylan's favorite part of the show, sports with Seth Corty. So how are you doing today, Seth?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Good.
So Seth, much to my dismay, Dakota Case, our fellow anchor, had a bet with me regarding the playoff series of the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild. And unfortunately, my Colorado Avalanche lost. So as you can see, I'm clean shaven for today.
Is that the bet? The winner had to keep their beard going, the loser had to shave the beard?
Indeed. Dakota Case will continue his playoff beard, but I will be babyface shaven for the rest because my Avalanche could not win it. So.
Well, on a little more local note, the USF softball team's looking pretty strong. Getting ready for playoffs.
Excellent. Let's hear all about it.
Absolutely. The USF softball team will look to make the most of its first taste of postseason play since joining the NSIC and NCAA Division II. As a fifth-seeded team in the tournament, the Cougars will square off with the fourth-seeded Wayne State Wildcats, with the first pitch set for 12 p.m. on May 3rd at Sherman Park in Sioux Falls. The Cougars and Wildcats squared off earlier this season in Wayne, Nebraska, with Wayne State coming out on top 7-2 in cold, rainy, and snowy weather. USF took an early lead when Shannon Daly smacked a one-out double down the right field line before Betsy Thomas belted her 7th home run of the season to give the visitors a 2-0 lead. USF took a 2-1 run lead into the bottom of the 5th inning, but back-to-back 3-run innings by Wayne State gave them their final margin of victory at 5 runs. 2 days of competition. After 2 days of competition, the NSIC Multi-Event Championships wrapped up in Aberdeen, South Dakota on Monday night, and the Cougars came away with 2 solid performances. Caitlin Swatell got the Cougars off to a good start in the 2014 Outdoor Championships as she finished 2nd overall in the heptathlon with her score of 46.64. Swatell currently holds the 15th best mark in Division II this season with her score of 48.65 at the ESU combined events earlier this season. Seth Lewis just missed out on scoring for the Cougars in the decathlon as he came in 9th overall with his score of 43.73. The heptathlon and the decathlon are scored as individual events and will be counted towards the 2014 NSIC Outdoor Championships held in Winona, Minnesota on May 9th through the 10th. Spring football came to a close last Friday as the purple and white game took place out at Bob Young Field. Our own Rob Goffney has more on the story.
Productive.
Insightful.
Worth it.
This spring was a stepping stone in redeeming themselves from last season when the Coup finished the season with a disappointing record of 6-5.
The feeling of after 6-5 last year was just a little bit, it's a little heartbreaking.
To go 6-5 at the University of Sioux Falls, it's just not acceptable. It's not what we're about. We're about winning, and that's just mediocre, and that's not what we are.
it's just not the standard here.
The team walks away with many positives to focus on as they enter the summer.
Spring football for me was pretty good. Got to bond with my old lineman again. We got a lot of work done, and it's pretty much just overall a good time, I'd have to say. The spring game was a lot of fun. It was pretty tiring just because we're down to 8 guys, so there was a lot of times where I'd be in there for a couple drives. But all in all, I think we did a lot of good things as an offensive line, and I think we'll be pretty good next year.
Senior Brock Murdoch reflects on his final spring for football.
I think finishing my career at USF, it's just been a big opportunity for me just to get out here and be able to do what you love. Great environment, great coaches. They embrace me as a family. These teammates of mine are now my brothers for life, so I'll always be grateful for that.
For College Week, I'm Rob Goffney.
That's great stuff on the football team. Can't wait to see him have another great year of Cougar football. So Seth, I understand that you have a friend who won an NCAA Division I championship. Why don't you tell us a little about that?
I do. Actually, I have a former high school teammate that runs at the University of Nebraska who's actually recruited by USF. It was his second choice, but obviously the appeal of Division I kind of appealed more to him. But I had the privilege of sitting down and talking with him. He actually won the 600 meter in indoor championships for NCAA. So take a look.
He is the ultimate competitor. I don't know if I've ever been around too many guys that have the ability to just step up and do a great job when they have to, when the pressure's on the line.
Meet Levi Gibson, the University of Nebraska track and field athlete that's found success surprisingly fast.
I'm surprised at how fast he got to be at the level he's at.
Gibson is also surprised.
I was kind of surprised at how well I did, and that's just a blessing from God.
His former high school coach, Kurt Earl, tells us the effect that Levi continues to have on the program.
Anytime you've got a guy that is at that level that can potentially break a state record or is going to move on to the Division I level, it really sets the bar higher for everyone. And even though everyone can't run as fast as he did for us, they all think they can run faster than they used to think they could. And so that kind of trickles down and has an effect on people for years after a kid like that goes through. So it's been really neat to see that elevated standard, that people are chasing.
Levi says he's thankful for what Lincoln Christian provided him with.
Lincoln Christian has been great for me. It really gave me a good base for my faith, which has been huge in my whole life. And just athletically, it just showed there's more to sports than just winning and losing, and they gave me a good atmosphere to succeed.
Levi was dominant in high school, making 3 state championship appearances and bringing home plenty of hardware in the process.
He's a couple hundredths away and 1 injury away from being a back-to-back 4 gold medalist winner at the state meet. He almost pulled that off. People don't realize how close he was. And even with an injury, we were able to change some things, and he was able to get a gold in the 400 and the 800 and a silver in the 4x4 with his teammates.
Although recruited by USF, Levi found a better fit at Nebraska.
And Nebraska started coming out, so I thought that was just a better opportunity for me to compete at a Division I.
Gibson's goal is to run under 46 seconds to remain nationally competitive.
You have to be under 46, I would say, to be nationally competitive. You could probably make it into nationals with a low 46, but to be competitive at nationals, you need to be under 46 seconds.
Levi plans to continue the success he had in the indoor season and says his goal of running under 46 seconds is obtainable.
That's definitely doable. I need to learn how to get out faster. That first 200 is really big because I usually can finish fairly strong, but it's that first 200 that's really key.
Earl also believes it's possible.
But I think he's still discovering a lot about how hard he can push himself moment by moment every day. And I think as he keeps discovering that there is still a lot more potential for him. And I could see him being quite a bit faster in 400 and 600 and some of those kind of things.
For USF College Week, I'm Seth Cordy.
And that wraps up the last edition of USF College Week.
It's bittersweet, but it's finally here. At this opportunity, I'd like to thank every single cast member that has helped make College Week possible and every viewer that has stopped in to view our episodes. So, for College Week, I'm Dylan Dwyer.
And I'm Irene Samaniego.
I'm Seth Cordy.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.
Lately, I've been star. I see this life like a swinging vine, swing my heart across the line. In my face is flashing signs, seek it out and ye shall find. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that old. And I don't think the world is sold. I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I could lie. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive. Everything that drowns me makes me wanna fly. Watch it burn, sing in the river, the less of dollar.